I don't even know how to start this because it's just beyond devastating. Our hearts, of course, go out to the family of Charlie Kirk, who was shot and killed yesterday on a college campus in Utah. In the wake of his death, politicians from both sides of the aisle spoke out against the violence and urged Americans to come together. Take a look.
It is unfortunately emblematic of how our politics is being conducted today. Political violence is not a solution. It is not an answer to disagreement over policy.
This is detestable, what's happened. Political violence has become all too common in American society, and this is not who we are. It violates the core principles of our country.
The assassination of Charlie Kirk risks an uncorking of political chaos and violence that we cannot risk in America. We cannot risk it.
All of us have got to work together and de-escalate the hate and the rhetoric in this country. And remember, we're Americans, and you can disagree in a way that doesn't end in a horrible way today did.
I mean, isn't a fundamental part of being an American that we are able to express our opinions to each other without fear, without this kind of horror happening? And it seems to be something we have been seeing more and more of. And it's not even left or right. It's just people being taken out because of their beliefs or their thoughts. I mean, Alyssa, you knew Charlie Kirk.
I did. I didn't know him well, but I've known him over the years. And today, my heart just breaks for his young wife, Erica, their 2 kids. I think we have a picture he posted recently of his family. Listen, regardless of your politics, we have got to get to a place in this country where we see people we disagree with not as our enemies, but as fellow Americans with different viewpoints that we are willing to engage. And for people who aren't familiar with Charlie Kirk, he was and even saying was just feels weird today, but an incredibly influential young activist on the right. He started an organization, Turning Point USA, has over 250,000 members nationwide. They're on over 3,000 college campuses. And this is going to hit young Republicans really hard because he made them feel like when they were the lone conservative voice on campus or they were one of the only Republicans, it was okay to speak up and say their viewpoints. Yeah. And that is a feeling that is going to be felt really deeply. I hope it doesn't have a chilling effect, whether you're left or right, on your ability to speak your mind. I know the one thing we all agree about on this table, we all share our viewpoints, and we should be able to do that without fear.
Well, that's our bread and butter here. So, of course, it's very important. I agree with everything you're saying.
Well, and also, although we don't all align with his views, what I deeply aligned with was he said, when we stop talking, that's when things get bad. The irony of a man who would go across the country to college campuses, that's the pinnacle of thought differences. It's where you're supposed to have conversations, would go, and his series was called Prove Me Wrong. He would talk to people openly who disagreed. It's what we try to exemplify every day and say, this is what we need more of. So the irony of being violently killed while saying those words of what we need more of in this country, I know all of us agree on that part, as there's never a place for political violence.
That's the thing. This man was 31 years old with 2 children, I think ages 1 and 3, a family man, a wife. Now all these children will grow up without their father. This woman will grow up, grow old without her husband. This country, there's just no place for this kind of violence in this country. I am heartbroken over it. I cannot believe that someone would kill another person because they were speaking their beliefs. This is antithetical to who we are as Americans. The First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason. We should be able to voice whatever opinions we have.
But this particular political climate that we're in is not unfamiliar to me, being of the age that I'm at. In 1963, Medgar Evers was assassinated. In 1963, JFK was assassinated. In 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated. In 1968, Martin Luther King was assassinated. And in 1968, Robert Kennedy was assassinated. And we lived through all of that. It was a turbulent time I was very young. I think it's one of the reasons I got married so young, to tell you the truth. It was such a scary time. You kind of clung to each other, and You know, I'd like to be positive about it. I think we did get out of it. The
Yes.
country survived it. We
Yes.
got better. I think we will again. We're having a traumatic period right now.
Well, you know, when you think of all of the things that we've seen, the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, we saw the aggressiveness when
Assault.
they went after the assault.
Pelosi,
Thank you.
yeah.
Paul
On
Pelosi.
Paul Pelosi, the two
The couple in
Minnesota
Minnesota.
in
law.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
This has got to. This is not the way we do it. It's just. This is not the way we do it, and we say this every time, but somehow it's not resonating. And I hope that young Republicans never forget that they have a voice.
Yeah.
It's already been
They
proved.
should.
They have a voice. We all have voices. We should never, ever be afraid. It's beyond.